You shouldn't be even watching this video without protecting yourself online with NordVPN. Choose amongst their 3,600 worldwide servers, access your favorite content wherever you are around the world, and ensure that your personal information and your data is not being harvested and sold to others. We can give you a 30-day money-back guarantee to try NordVPN, to see what its services do for you, plus an extra 4 months free. One of the most beautiful elements of this product that I love, aside from protecting myself, is it gives you access to much better value content around the world, such as Setanta Sport. For $3.99 a month, all Premier League football matches are available to you using NordVPN. On top of that, you get access to Champions League, the UFC, Formula One, and much, much more. All you have to do is change your geolocation to Ukraine or Moldova or any of the countries you see listed here. So get signed up to NordVPN today. Scan the QR code on the screen and start saving yourself money as well as protecting yourself. Morning, everybody. It's been an interesting week if you're an Arsenal fan, and the discourse surrounding them has certainly dominated the airways on radio, on television, and of course in our world, the social media world, football Twitter, football YouTube. And I've had some opinions on it in the last few days, and I think they have. Let me start by saying Arsenal have deserved criticism for a lack of clinical edge against Bayern Munich. They deserve criticism for failing in the second half against Aston Villa. Question marks over particular players from Eddie Nketiah right through to Bukayo Saka are absolutely justified. And the question mark over Mikel Arteta's future has rightfully, absolutely rightfully been questioned. But on reflection and listening to the arguments surrounding it, I feel there are two real polarized groups. Some don't ever say anything bad about Arsenal, don't say anything bad about Arteta. This is almost, it's against the law. You should go to prison for it. And then you get the other end who, at the first sign of trouble, Arteta out, he's got to go, sack him, bring me a new manager. It's the only way to go forward. And I think when you sit down and you have rational, intelligent conversations, keep your feet firmly on the ground, there's merit to both arguments, but they never want to tell that to each other. I think both groups are wrong. I have had personally a lot of call-outs, a lot of ad hominem attacks in the last few days. Arsenal are not scary. That's a personal it's a personal opinion, right? You not being worried about Arsenal doesn't make my opinion wrong because it's a personal feeling. I also think the relief the rivals have demonstrated through Arsenal going out demonstrates their fear of Arsenal winning something. So I do believe they are. But there's been a lot of ad hominem attacks on me. Doesn't debunk anything that I've said, okay? And I've seen that across the board, attacking someone's personality, attacking someone on immutable elements of themselves, as opposed to breaking down what they're saying, instantly means you lose the argument. You are in the wrong if you have to do that. And when it comes to this Arsenal conversation, I wanted to sort of look at it. And when I say the truth about Arsenal, it's the truth as I see it. And you may hold different opinions, but I wanted us to delve into this. The first thing I want to speak about is this tweet here that you can see on the screen. And this tweet here says, all things considered, would you consider Mikel Arteta's time at Arsenal as a manager so far success or failure? And Lewis here, who's a Liverpool fan, states, being called a failure for dropping out of the Champions League quarterfinal to Bayern Munich in itself is success. He has the expectations of an elite manager because he is an elite manager. It's interesting how some rivals see this situation. They don't see it as major panic stations for Arsenal. And I view it this way. I think it has been, I would put the word relative success ahead of it. He has won an FA Cup. A lot of people say, but it's Unai Emery's squad. Then you have to, but those same people that say it's Unai Emery's squad speak about his 8th and 8th place finishes. If he doesn't get to have the FA Cup because it was Unai Emery's squad, at the very least one, if not both, of his 8th place finishes also have to be removed from his CV because he was still building his own squad at that point, right? You can't have it both ways. He has got Arsenal into title races. He has got them to a point where people are expecting them to try and win the major trophies. That is relative success. Now, I know some people have this view of if you're not winning trophies, you are not a success. It is just outright failure. I just politely disagree with that opinion. And I'll throw you an example as to why I disagree with that opinion before we play you a clip. A lot of Arsenal fans that want Arteta sacked will cite Simeone as the reason, as one of the main managers they want to come in. Now, let's look at this tweet here from Danny, who says the Bundesliga has 2 semi-finalists. Does that make their league better than the Premier League? The answer is probably no. People will call Arteta bottlers, but big Atletico Madrid have not been past the quarterfinals in 5 years. So I understand completely that Simeone has won La Ligas. I understand that he has won Europa Leagues, and he won a Copa del Rey about 11 years ago. But Standard FC quote that you're a failure and you should be sacked within a year or two if you don't win trophies. But yet, the Standard FC group that support Arsenal talk about Simeone as being the man that should replace Mikel Arteta. The logic doesn't work, because even Simeone, who I personally believe is a top-class to world-class manager, isn't a guarantee of pushing Arsenal to that next level. Based on their own logic, they shouldn't even want him, because right now he's in the failure group because he isn't winning. So I'm a little bit confused by the logic. But when it comes to sacking Mikel Arteta, it's as simple and as straightforward as this for me. Is the manager that's going to come in and replace him better than Arteta? How much of a guarantee is it? Nothing to 100%, but how much can you guarantee it? I think Simeone is a better manager, by the way. My point before was Standard FC's logic is broken. But I think if they could get Simeone, it would make sense to replace him. If they could get Zidane, it would make sense. If Ancelotti was available, it would make sense. But none of these managers are attainable. Arsenal fans may say, throw all the money in the world at it. Since when in football has paying ridiculous sums of money to change someone's mind really worked? Okay, you want someone to want to manage you, whether it's pride, whether it's professionalism, whether it just be, do you know what? I see a goal there. They've got no desire to manage you. Just throwing money at the problem typically doesn't work. So a lot of the names you see to replace Mikel Arteta are not attainable. So therefore, the logic's already flawed. Then you're looking at managers who have big question marks over them as well. Are they a guarantee? Are they close to a guarantee of improving Arsenal? Only one Arsenal fan has answered me this question honestly in the last 3 days. It was Connor. And Connor said, I'm willing to take the risk of going backwards in the pursuit of going forward. And I think fair play to you, because at least you admit there is a flaw in your logic that could lead to you going backwards. That is so honest and so, to a degree, courageous as well. I like that. Too many of the Arteta outers guarantee you they're going to get better. You can't guarantee you're going to get better, especially if you're not able to attract managers that are exponentially better than Mikel Arteta. So my view is this: unless Arsenal can secure a better manager, someone that you look at and go, whoa, that's going to make Arsenal legit to the next level, I think you stick with him. For now, the dressing room isn't lost. The team is challenging for titles. They play good football. They do need some better players. And I think there is elements of Arteta that need criticism. I think keeping Nketiah. They definitely need competition for Saka on that right-hand side. The squad building potentially could have been better. The likes of, Fabio Vieira and the like not getting enough game time. You're looking at them now with hindsight and you're saying, then obviously, whether I like them or you like them is irrelevant. The manager don't like the players he signed. So those areas need criticism. But at the same time, sacking him right now, I think would be a mistake. I want to play a clip from Mark Goldbridge. I want to get your opinions on this, people.
Wrong. Arteta out. This is what I'm talking about. He's been found out. Arteta out. There is a very vocal minority who just run off on tangents. And I saw it after the Villa game and I've seen it after the Bayern game. And it's almost like some of the Arteta out crowd with their T-shirts never really got on board. They've had to stay quiet going, oh yeah, I do like him. And then as soon as it goes wrong, Arteta out. This is what I'm talking about.
This is true. Forget the people that have always been Arteta out. I give them a level of respect because they've always maintained it no matter what. It's the flip-floppers. And this is where I think this is where I think the word flip-flop comes in. I want him out. I want him out. Do you know what? It's changed my mind. I think, yeah, he's excellent. 4 months of excellence, 1 defeat. See, this is what I meant. That's flip-flopping because it's that quick to get you back to the other opinion. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think.
He's been found out. Arteta out. I think there's very justifiable reasons to say that Arsenal are better this season than last season, but they are not better to the statement that they're going to win the league or they're going to win the Champions League. How can you have Man City, who are a juggernaut, and have a squad bench that's better than most people's first team, and then moan that Man City end up winning the league? Then that's logical. And then in the Champions League, they haven't actually been in it. Like Porto, you said, they struggled against Porto. They come up against Bayern Munich, and people go, Bayern Munich are shit this season. Arsenal are brilliant this season. They'll win. But then you think, well, hold on a minute. Bayern Munich are seasoned in the Champions League.
This is so true. And the Arsenal fans that are angry they've gone out are the same Arsenal fans who at the beginning of the season were like, look, we've got to build experience. It's about heritage. It's about having a know-how in the competition. They've got to the quarterfinals, which is about the maximum most people expected. They're challenging for the title again. You go out and the managers everybody's linking them to. What would the Arteta out? I want to ask the Arteta out crew a question. If you were to bring in Zidane and next season Pep wins the league and not you, based on your own logic of that being failure, would you sack him straight away? Because even if you get a world-class manager, there are no guarantees you beat Pep to the Prem. What would you then do? I'd love to get your face on that. And listen, I think what Mark Goldbridge said here holds a lot of value. And this is how I know it holds value. Because the people that despise Arteta, all they've done is attack Mark Goldbridge, ad hominem attacks. And unless you're not familiar with that term, I've only recently come across it, and it's an amazing term. An ad hominem attack, essentially, is where the criticism is directed at the person rather than what the person says. So, for instance, I'm sitting here and saying, I understand the want to get rid of Arteta. Who is available, who is attainable that you genuinely think will make you exponentially better? Because if you can't guarantee an improvement, or if we don't feel very strongly there'll be an improvement in a particular manager, I think it's wrong to sack him. If you then attack me, you're twerking for Arsenal, you're doing this for Arsenal, you don't really mean it, you're just looking for views and likes, you're not real, you're not authentic, you're this, you're that, you're the other. You're a mutant, you're a spastic, whatever it is. I've been called mad things the DMs I've had in the last few days are crazy. As soon as you're attacking me and not addressing my point, I believe it's a fallacy. Your argument's a fallacy. You've lost the debate. And that's what I've seen happen to Mark on this opinion. It's what I've seen happen to that Liverpool fan who tweeted. It's ad hominem, personal attacks, pejoratives being thrown out and sort of slanderous acts, as opposed to, well, let's just discuss the point in hand without getting aggressive, without getting angry, without being nasty. And that's my point here. People are scared of Arsenal. It's why rivals are clamoring and say, yeah, sack him, sack him, sack him, sack him. Why do rivals want him gone so badly? Of course, you've got the people that have never liked Arteta. This is their time to shine. This is their time to say, see, I told you. But what are their solutions? Are they logical at this particular moment in time? Doesn't mean Arteta should never be sacked. Doesn't mean he shouldn't be criticised. 110%. But who is actually available? When I hear, that means Zidane don't want to come to England. What a stupid piece of logic. There's no point asking for your manager to be sacked and for his replacement to be someone that doesn't want to come in. And if the options of managers that could come in you don't like, are you better off with Arteta? Think logically instead of emotionally sometimes. But people are scared of Arsenal. They have improved. And they are a team that I don't think are going to go backwards next season in terms of challenging for titles. Still being in the Champions League with an air to go a bit further. Now, if they do and it falls apart, then the answer is there. It's time to get rid of the manager. But I do think people are overreacting. I do think people have become very nasty in the last few days. A lot of attacks online. And as I said at the beginning, that is my Arsenal truth. I would love to get your views and opinions on this. I can't wait to see the ad hominem attacks in the comments. So big up to all of you. Before you leave, go and check out NordVPN. As I've mentioned before, you've got to protect yourselves online. It's so key. But it gives you great access to content around the world. And Setanta Sport is a game changer. 3 p.m. kickoffs, multi-games at the same time, and much, much more for $3.99 a month. £3.99. For everything you get on Setanta Sports, if you buy that in England, I don't know about the countries that you're all watching in England, for all those channels, it costs you nearly £250 per month. So get looking at it now and save yourself loads of money. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Peace.